foundation that this lays, and I really think that a lot of math programs are lacking in these basic concepts. A, we need to teach place value. B, our children need a solid understanding of the concepts of what multiplication and addition and these things look like, fractions, decimals, right? And 3, we really need mastery in mathematics, because if you don't understand how to add fluently, how are you going to multiply fluently? Because multiplication is fast adding. Ooh.
Hey guys, Cassie Deputy with Deputy Tribe.
Elias Deputy.
Deputy.
Okay, let's
All
try.
you do Deputy.
Okay, let's try that again. Hey guys, Cassie Deputy.
Do Deputy. Elias Deputy.
And this is
Deputy
Tribe. Hey guys, welcome back to Deputy Tribe. I'm here with my 2 boys today. And how old are you?
I'm 8.5.
Oh, 8.5. How old are you?
5.
5. And today we're going to be talking about Math UC. Now, this is one of my favorite math curriculums that I use. I have used this I have 8 kids, so I'm a home educating mom of 8 kids. And this is my number 4 and my number 5. And I have used Math UC for all my kids now. And yeah, I wanted to share this curriculum with you and share why I like it compared to other curriculums that we have reviewed and stuff over the long period of time. So this one is Alpha. So Alpha is actually their second book. So they have Primer, which is red, and then they have Alpha, which is green. So Aryeh has been using Alpha. So it is Math that you see, which it uses manipulatives, but not like how other programs use manipulatives. So this is our bin of blocks here. So we have the different blocks. We have unit blocks. And then each of these are color-coded. So, this is one
This is chocolate 8.
So this is the 8 block. We have the 10 blocks, which are blue. This is what? What is this one?
Vanilla.
No, what number is this?
7.
7.
This
So
9.
they all fit. So like 5 unit blocks fit on a 5 block.
They
Okay.
basically fit on any of these.
And then you have your 10 blocks, which are blue, and you have a bunch of them, right?
Chocolate.
Got a whole bunch of them. And then you have your 100 blocks, which are red.
Yeah.
So these are all, they fit together, they make sense. So literally 100 unit blocks fit on the 100 block. 100 of them fit on there. So you use these blocks with the curriculum. So you use them with all the way going up. When you learn decimals, when you learn fractions, you use them with pre-algebra, you use them with algebra, you use them with calculus. You can get a few different kits that have like a fraction overlay thing that you would use with the fraction book. So now you see it. So you're actually building the math problems, always. So you're building it, you're saying it, you're writing it, and you're reteaching it. So this shows that you really understand the concepts. Yeah, build this number for me. Okay, what number did you build? 242. Yeah, is that what you built?
Yeah.
242.
42.
Very good. You see, you're not just memorizing math facts, although you are doing that, which is important, but you're actually physically understanding the concepts before you move on to the next concept. So, for instance, in Alpha, you're focusing on addition and subtraction. Is that the back of the book? And it's upside down. So you're focusing on addition and subtraction in this entire book. All addition and subtraction. So you start the book with place value, which is very important. I found with almost all the math curriculums that we have ever reviewed or we have ever used, the one thing that they are all lacking that Matthew C. emphasizes is place value, which is probably one of the main reasons that children struggle with math, is because they don't understand the units belong here, the tens belong here, the hundreds belong here. So when Matthew C. teaches place value, they teach you houses on a cul-de-sac, right? You're on Decimal Street, so there's the decimal. And then you have the units house, which is green, and only 9 units can fit in the house. And then you move to the tens house, which is blue, and only 9 tens can fit in there. Then they have to turn into a 100, and then they move into the hundreds house. And so you're drilling that place value, place value, place value, place value. So when they move on, they understand that every value has its place. Okay? So then they have you memorize the different blocks and the colors and the values of them. And this is also very important if you stick with this system, because as you learn multiplication, Sharon, can you pick that up? Which is this Gamma book that my son's in, then the multiplication becomes so much easier to conceptualize. So you're building them, so you're doing like 2 and 1 make 3, right? So you can physically see that 2 and 1 have the same equal value of 3. So if you see this makes an equal sign. So you're not just knowing, okay, 1 plus 2 is 3, but you're actually physically seeing it, building it, understanding it, okay? I have found that this makes memorizing math facts extremely effective. So that's a big plus about building it, but also Matthew C. focuses on mastery before you continue. So unless, please stop, son. Unless Aryeh can tell me what 9 plus 9 is, and 9 plus 8, and 9 plus 7, and 9 plus 6, then we stay on the 9 facts until he has recalled them and mastered them. So Elias is doing multiplication, right? So unless Elias can tell me what's 2 times 6.
2 times... Okay, 2 times 6 is 13.
No, it's not.
12.
It's 12. So obviously he can't move on from that, right? So until you can master it and recall it, you don't move on. But Matthew C. also has a lot of, you go back over basic concepts. So the lessons are laid out like this. You have, I think, 30-ish lessons? So it has this tracking page in the beginning, and you have, 30-ish lessons. So they're broken up in like sections, and then you have a quiz to see how you're doing, okay? And then you have pages A, B, and C, which A, B, and C review the new topic at hand. And then you have D, E, and F, and D, E, and F go back over your new topic, but they also mix in some review. And then you have a G, a page G, which is like puzzles. It's like what we call our fun page. But it does a lot of story problems. It does some graphs. It may mix in some other things, like more complex. Open up the G that we just did with you so I can show them. Kind of more complex or real-life applications. So here's an example of the G page. So Anna has 5 bananas. Her mom gave her 1 more banana. Draw a picture to show how many bananas she has now. Application and enrichment. That's what those are called.
How much?
5 bananas, and her mom gave her 1 more.
Oh, 6.
Yes. So here's what and every lesson looks a little bit different, but like here's what Aryeh is going into. So 2 blocks plus 1 block. So he would build it. Then he would write the numbers, and then he would connect it here and write 3. And he could even color in the colors of the blocks, right? Here's some dot to dots. So that's A. Then on the back, he would do these. Okay? And then on the the other pages, it would mix in some review stuff. So here he's reviewing place value and being able to see numbers that are built and being able to explain what they are.
This is the one I'm supposed to be doing.
All right, you fell over. Sorry about that. Hopefully that's saved. Okay, so here's one of his application and enrichment pages. And here he's doing different graphs and charting stuff. He also had one that we did last. Oh, here. This was a little bit tricky. This was like a quick review here where we had to do addition with multiple place values, right? So by the end of alpha, if you're interested in alpha, can you give me a little bit of space here? It basically ends with you doing single digit addition and subtraction fluently, very fluently. So then alpha then moves to beta, and beta is like also addition and subtraction, but it's multiple numbers.
It's
so
purple.
After beta, gamma does. Yeah, it also moves to delta. Did you guys say delta?
Alpha, beta,
No.
gamma,
Oh yeah.
delta.
Is beta, what color is
Pink. No. So then it also comes with your test booklet, which is literally just 1 page long. They're just the tests at the end of each unit. So when I actually keep their records for school, I keep the page here that we did to track their progress, and then I keep the test booklet so that it shows a sample of their work throughout the year. And then I don't keep the rest of this for our school records. So that's another reason I appreciate the separate test booklet, is it allows me to keep a sample of all their work in one small little thing for their school records. So I really like that. So moving on to gamma now. So gamma is the introduction to multiplication. It also has 30 lessons and then a big unit test at the end. So as you can see, we are almost a fourth of the way through this already. That's insane. We're almost a fourth of the way through this, son. And this book touches on not just multiplication, but it does a little bit of areas of a rectangle. It says prime numbers, factors, millions, rounding and estimating, miles and tons, prime numbers. So they'll have like lessons on that. You are always doing a little bit of algebra here and there. So even in alpha, they'll introduce algebra concepts. For instance, they'll do x plus 3 equals 4, right? And you know that that's 1. So they introduce and sprinkle a little bit of algebra through it when they're introducing math facts, which is really good. It makes algebra, when you approach algebra, so much more easy because you've been kind of doing it since you started math. And we do a lot of skip counting. And skip counting is really just fast adding, which is nice. So, I don't know. I mean, they introduce all the different ways that you can multiply, like the different symbols. They do a lot of this stuff. So you're familiar with the terms, but they don't emphasize the terms. We do skip counting. Oh, and then they introduce money as we're skip counting too. And then they will have segments on time and money and things like that in the books as well. So that's pretty much the gist of it. So how we use it is it comes with, you can order the DVD lessons, or I think when you buy it, you get access to the online streaming videos, a lifetime access, which I greatly appreciate because with my 8 children, our DVDs pretty much got scratched up and damaged before they offered the online streaming option. So it makes me want to continue to use Matthew C because I have access to the videos. So all I have to do is get the books, and I have the teacher's guides already. So you can get the hardcover teacher guides to correct. It has the lessons, it has practice problems for each lesson, and then it has all the answers in the back of the book. So with the lower level math, I've done these so many times I don't even really use the teacher's guides anymore. But we watch it. So we watch the lesson. What's his name? Demi. I don't remember his first name. He actually teaches it in a classroom setting. So he's got kids as his audience. And he teaches the lessons. And they're only like 10 minutes long, maybe.
21.
And he uses the same blocks and he does the lesson for you, which is really nice.
No,
The
he doesn't.
teacher's guide, what?
He doesn't use the same box. He uses big ones.
Well, yeah, but he uses like the same colors and the same whatever. So he teaches you cool tricks and he shows you patterns. And the whole goal with Math-U-See is to really understand concepts. The goal with Math-U-See is to really have the student understand the concept. How is it done? What does it look like? What is the reasoning behind it? So that they can visualize, and they get it from a visual standpoint, an auditory standpoint. They get it from a physically building, and then they actually do it on paper too. So having all those different learning styles all included in one with the video-based component, and then in the teacher's guide, they give you more and more examples on how to instruct. You take the lessons nice and slow. You watch the video, you listen to Demi explaining everything. He's building it, he's visually showing it to you, and then you work with your student and you have them build it, and you guys go over different components of the lesson. And all of that's laid out in the teacher's guide if you get the teacher's guide. And he also gives you ideas in the video on how to teach the lesson. Once my child can effectively teach it back to me and have me build it and do things like that, then I know they're ready to move on to the book work. So the book work focuses a lot on building it, saying it, writing it. Building it, saying it, writing it. Building it, saying it, writing it, right? So at the alpha level and into the beta level, the teacher, like you as the parent, will be more hands-on with your child, making sure, just because they're at such a young age and you're really building their ability to work independently at this age. But once you get to the gamma, if you have trained your children well, they will be pretty much independent. So I sit down with Elias once a week and we go over the lesson together. I make sure he understands the concept, teaches it to me, and then I'll maybe go over A with him and make sure he did it right. But then after that, he's working independently. So I'll have him do A and D. Then I'll have him do B and E, because remember, D, E, and F are review pages. Then I'll have him do C and F. Then I'll have him do G and test. So that kind of is our whole week. Now, the goal is to go slow. Do not try to rush through it. If a book takes you 2 years, it's okay. My oldest girls are technically age-wise supposed to be going into 7th grade, and we started them on Math-U-See, and we went nice and slow. And once they mastered these facts, we moved to the next book. And when they mastered those, we moved to this book. And then when they mastered those, we went to the next book. And then when they mastered that, we explored other curriculum. And their understanding of math is so fluent. Like, there's nothing really they struggle in, because they understand concepts, because they've built them and they've seen them. And so they have instant math fact recall, which makes their higher math so much easier. And I really contribute that to Math-U-See. We tried a few other ones with my son. Okay, I am a mom of 8 children and I get interrupted constantly. So, as I was saying, with my son, we did not start with Math-U-See with him. I might have done a little bit of the alpha with him, but then we tried other programs. So he went right into some other programs whose names I won't particularly mention, but they're your traditional kind of like math curriculum that is used today, popular ones. If you go through my YouTube channel, you'll probably see them there. But and I noticed when he got to multiplication, he was really at a loss and he really struggled. And no matter what program we used, he just really had a hard time with it. And a lot of it was because a lot of the programs out there don't focus on one thing at a time. They kind of introduce a bunch of different things. And a child, especially a young child, just laying the foundation for math, doesn't even grasp basic math concepts. And so you have nothing solid to build other things on. And I always found that, like, I'm going to be honest, when we first started Math-U-See years ago, I was a little bit leery because I was like, all you're teaching is addition. for like 2 years. And then all you're teaching is multiplication for like 2 years. And all of my kids' peers were learning like all this other stuff, like introducing this and that and that, and they were doing all sorts of things, and it was like, but we're only doing math facts really. But they do sprinkle like time in there and money and things like that and graphs and stuff, but I was nervous about that, you know. I was like, is this a complete curriculum? The other part I was really nervous about is my kids going to be dependent on these blocks to do math problems. And what I found after using Math-U-See for years, and this is why I went back to Math-U-See with my little kids, is I found that using the manipulatives in the way that this program does, right? Not in the way other programs that I've seen use manipulatives before. They had such a deep, solid foundation in the basic principles that my girls now who grew up on Math-U-See are accelerating. I mean, I can't even wrap my brain around the math that they're doing now. Especially, I noticed it when we came to multiplication. And the reason why is because they have you actually build the multiplication problems. So I had no idea that every multiplication problem builds a rectangle. I had no idea. And so when you do 3 times 6, right? It is 18, but it's a rectangle. So when you do 57 times 24 and you build that for the first time ever, it makes a rectangle. It's mind-blowing. So you can then, once you visually have seen what like 57 times 24 looks like, it's like a game changer. I had this aha moment when we were first going through this book, and my husband and I, we just sat up till like, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the morning, and we would write problems on the board and we would build them with these blocks. And I'm like, I had no idea. Like, this makes so much more sense to me now. Like, I could probably do these things in my head now that I've seen it built and like rearrange things physically to see what number I make when I build this rectangle, right? It was truly mind-blowing. And I appreciate the foundation that this lays, and I really think that a lot of math programs are lacking in these basic concepts. A, we need to teach place value. B, our children need a solid understanding of the concepts of what multiplication and addition and these things look like, fractions, decimals, right? And 3, we really need mastery in mathematics, because if you don't understand how to add fluently, how are you going to multiply fluently? Because multiplication is fast adding, right? And then if you don't know how to do that, how are you going to do algebra where you have to figure out what x is? If you know your addition facts and your multiplication facts, then to work backwards is second nature. It comes very fluently to you. So I really, really, really like Math-U-See. And like I mentioned earlier, we're dabbling in Ray's Arithmetic this coming year. I bought the whole series. And just paging through them, I see a lot of the ideology in Math-U-See in those books. So I'm really excited to start those, but I cannot recommend Math-U-See enough. I really cannot. As a homeschooling mom of 8, and I've tried probably dozens of math curriculums. We've tried Saxton, we've tried teaching textbooks, we've tried Singapore Math, we've tried Math Mammoth, we've tried all these little branches and offshoots of mathematics, and I come back to this one. And we always come back to Math-U-See. I always end up coming back to this one. So it's a solid program. My kids are not addicted to the blocks, but the blocks have helped them understand concepts, and they're doing math in their heads faster than their peers, which 100% recommend this right here. If you are considering a curriculum, please consider Math-U-See. It is large family friendly. Like I said, the older they get, the less I am needed really, because they can do the assignments independently. The video component is my absolute favorite component, because I can learn the lessons with them and we can do it together, and I can grow in my understanding of math and my grasping of the concepts alongside my children. So I appreciate that, and I love everything that Demi Learning is doing, and this is by far our favorite math curriculum. It is Deputy Tribe approved, and I recommend it 100%. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that this walkthrough helps you guys make a decision on if Math-U-See is for you. It is large family friendly. Financially, it is doable because you have unlimited access to the videos. You have the blocks for life and the teacher's guides, and all you have to do is get new student workbooks every year, or every year and a half, or every 2 years. But if you can just get through the first 5 or 6 Math-U-See books, your kids are well equipped for life and anything that math is going to throw at them. So thank you. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it with people. Check out Demi Learning and Math-U-See's links below. I have a link to their website. I have a link to the specific books that we use. And I have, and links to all of their social media accounts. So you can follow them on Facebook and whatever other Twitter, Instagram, whatever they have. Check out those links down below. And that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Jesus is coming.
Jesus